Use force on your wife?
Well, what are we considering force? Is withholding sex, for instance, is that considered force? Cancel a vacation?
Deprivation of an expected reward is a punishment.
A wife is upset at a husband, for instance. Would that be considered use of force? I think a negative punishment. You're removing a stimulus to punish a person for something. Yeah, would you consider that like a use of force?
I would say it would depend to some degree on the intent.
The intent is to punish a behavior,
well, if the
right?
intent is to punish, then it's starting to move into the domain of force. It produces negative emotion, fundamentally, most fundamentally, anxiety and pain, and secondarily, something like anger, because those emotions are quite tightly linked. Within the confines of a marriage, there are going to be times when disagreements result in bursts of emotion. And those bursts of emotion don't necessarily have to have an instrumental quality. It's when the emotion is used manipulatively to gain an advantage that's short-term for the person. And then maybe that's at the expense of the other person, or even at the expense of the person who benefits future self. Then it starts to tilt into the manipulative. There's a tetrad of traits. Narcissism. Narcissism is the desire for unearned social status. That's what you'd gain, for example, if you were gossiping and elevating your social status. Machiavellianism, that's manipulativeness. Psychopathy, that's predatory parasitism. And those culminate in sadism. And that cloud of negative emotion that's released in the aftermath of disagreement can be tilted in the direction of those traits. And that's when it becomes malevolent. And that's when the problem of force starts to become paramount.